I wanted to share a little bit about how we homeschool on a budget. I see a lot of moms ask about this. They wonder, is it doable on one income? And I'm here to say that it absolutely is. We're on a tight budget. We don't have oodles and oodles of money to just throw away, you know. Um, we're on a very tight budget, and I just wanted to share how we're able to make it work. I want to start out by saying that homeschooling is about the time and the attention, the consistency, not the money. You don't have to have the money. Your kids don't need everything, they need enough. If they have a mom or dad that is truly invested in their learning, that's enough to make it work. Um, just because something is expensive doesn't mean it's effective. So just know that your time and your attention, the quality of that is of the utmost importance. It doesn't matter if you make $50,000 or $100,000 a year. So what I like to do is prioritize my main or my core subjects. I'll focus my spending on my reading and spelling, my math. The rest of things can be, read alouds, library books. We can do some life skills. There are plenty of free resources online. If they're old enough to really, get online, they can do their own research and learn about things that they're interested in and dive deep into those. Math, reading, and spelling are really my most important tiers, in my opinion. I want them to know those and know them well, and anything else we can discover over time, we can learn, we can dive into without spending a whole bunch of money. Our local library is really small, but it's one of our biggest resources between, books for unit studies. They have audiobooks. Sometimes they have special little educational programs going on. Free printables from places like Teachers Pay Teachers, 123 Homeschool for Me. You can find a free printable on just about anything. YouTube is awesome for many, many things. We reuse workbooks. Sometimes I'll just have the kids write their answers on a blank page versus actually using a workbook. That way I can hand this workbook down through all of my kids, and I only had to buy it one time. We also repeat anything if needed, using the same curriculum for a little bit longer. If I've noticed that we are, forgetting some things we've learned, we need a refresher. Let's go back and use what we've already got instead of buying something new. Let's go practice that. Let's go master it before we move any further. Repeating doesn't mean they're behind. Let's build the foundation really good. Another tip would be building like a flexible rhythm. Things can be a little unpredictable when you're on a tight budget, and flexibility helps prevent burnout. I don't want to burn myself out, and then I'm in this cycle of feeling guilty that I'm a little burnt out, so I'm trying to find something else, to buy something else to fill that gap. You're allowed to have some flexibility and let that work for you, not against you. Don't let a rigid schedule cost you your peace and money. Don't be afraid to have an off day sprinkled in here and there. Your peace is going to matter, and it's going to affect how you homeschool and the things you do and the things that you buy. Even in public school, we had days where the teacher would roll the TV in and call it a day. So don't Don't feel like you have to pack everything in and do all of the things. Make sure to build some flexibility into your time and into your planning, okay? As far as spending, I think I mentioned earlier that I really try to spend on our core subjects. If you're going to spend, spend on a solid math program or a reading program if needed. It's okay to spend, just spend wisely. You don't have to spend on everything. Plenty of things can be free or very low cost. I wouldn't go spending based on the latest trends. This looks cute, that looks cute, but does it actually work? Or will it work for me and my time? Will it work for my child? Will they understand it? I don't recommend full boxed curriculums. That is nothing against anybody personally. If you do that and that works for you, that's fine, but it rolls back into the same thing. I have found that for me in my house, one full curriculum for everything doesn't work for everyone. I've got one son who's a very auditory and visual learner. You tell him or you show him, and he's got it. I have another son who he needs to be more hands-on. He needs to do it before he learns. So if I go out and spend hundreds of dollars on this one boxed curriculum and it works for this son and not the other son, then I've just, I wouldn't say wasted money because it works for one son, but I'd like to find something that works for everyone. And I just piece together things. I wouldn't go buying based on, the latest Pinterest. This looks cute, that looks cute either. I want to know what works. I want to find what works for us, and that's what we spend our money on. I feel like maybe I'm a little bit all over the place, but my main point in this is, find the things that are important to you, and you're allowed to spend on what's important or what you need more help with. And plenty of things can come together through the library and free resources and everyday life. It doesn't all have to be bought. You don't have to spend money on all the things. I promise you, you can do this on a budget. That doesn't mean you're failing. You're doing something brave here. This is new. And it's not going to last forever. One day you're going to look back and love the memories and the moments and the out-of-the-box ideas that you may have come up with to teach something new without spending a dime. In the end, I'm choosing to choose peace over perfection because perfection is going to hit my bank account where it hurts. We don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm just doing my best. Thanks for spending a few minutes here with me. I'll see you in the next one.